Welcome. Some people were asking me what the Republic of the Arabian Peninsula is in Tony Pro's Cold War generator, and this video is made to answer them. The Republic of the Arabian Peninsula is a republic in Saudi Arabia. So in 1969, there was a coup attempt in Saudi Arabia led by military generals under Colonel Daud al-Raumi and Saeed al-Omari. So the coup had been inspired by the coups of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya and the Ba'athist coup in 1968 in Iraq. So in our timeline, this coup pathetically failed because there was very little planning. But what if the coup had succeeded? So inspired from the Red Plenty and another timeline called the Stars and Sickles, which is written by Hervatskivi and the Red Plenty by the N. Batsoon on alternatehistory.com, we have the Qadar Revolution. Yes, a revolution led by Nasserists in Saudi Arabia. So they proclaim the Republic of the Arabian Peninsula on the morning of January 28, and then it continues for 3 days. A massacre of the House of Saud where 50 to 75% of the Saudi family was wiped out. This was done by the Committee for the Liberation of Arabia, which was politically led by Nasser al-Said and militarily led by Colonel Daud al-Raumi. The coup was supported by Iraq, Syria, Egypt, North Yemen, Algeria, Tunisia, and the Soviet Union, while it was opposed by the United States, the United Kingdom, Iran, Jordan, Turkey, and Pakistan. Now, in Tony Pro's Cold War generator, this can happen if King Faisal of Saudi Arabia is much more cruel and the rebels plan their coup more meticulously. Yes, so Saudi Arabia is now Nasserist, and let's read this description. The Nasserists first came to power after the bloody 1969 coup by Air Force officers and members of the military led by Nasser al-Said, also known as the Qadar Revolution. The revolution resulted in the deaths of 90% of the inner branches of the Al Saud royal family, along with King Faisal and all his brothers. So the initial American reaction to the coup was of launching a counter-revolution with local military support and the Iranians, which the USSR opposed. After a massive international crisis and almost a nuclear scare involving the USA, USSR, Iran, and Egypt, the Iranians and the Americans backed out of the republic, although Iran invaded and retained control over Bahrain as a puppet state. So as said in the Stars and Sickles timeline and the Red Plenty timeline, the USA tried to reinstate the remaining members of the Saudi family to Saudi Arabia. They did not want this Nasserist republic, but of course, Moscow threatened to bomb London and Paris just as it had done during the Suez Crisis. And despite the Americans not wanting to repeat the Suez Crisis, they were too busy with Vietnam. And so the coup went ahead and the peninsular Nasser al-Said came to power. Now, in the timeline called the Red Plenty, Nasser al-Said is the premier, but in my Cold War generator, he is killed in 1969 by the Saudi reactionaries. So, the American intervention and the killing of Nasser al-Said leads to a situation where there is a national myth. Unity becomes more entrenched, and the coup plotters decide to take a more conservative approach to domestic policy instead of the hardline secularist Nasserist doctrine. And this is what gives the ideology its name, right-wing Nasserism. A Nasserism which follows more nationalistic and more conservative doctrines while giving more rights to women and also passing limited social reforms. So in this timeline, Saudi Arabia is a republic, women have more rights, minorities have more rights. Now, in my Cold War generator, it is decided that despite the coup plotters' varying political beliefs, the ire of Islamic clerics, and alleged Hijazi separatist tendencies, Nasser al-Said and Colonel Daud al-Romi have managed to keep the country together by a combination of reforms, tradition, compromise, and the iron fist. The nation is crippled by three insurgencies of the Saudi loyalists, the reactionary Ikhwan, and the Shia in the east supported by foreign powers. And the Arabian Peninsula People's Union is a political party which did exist in our timeline. This is the flag of the republic. And let's see, there is no real clear indication of a flag for the Arabian Peninsula Republic, but you can get anything on Google these days. So let's see, flag of the Arabian Peninsula Republic. Okay, so there are many types of flags. This is one of the atheist flag of the Arabian Peninsula Soviet Republic on our Vixology. This is a more overtly Nasserist flag. But yes, basically this is it. The Qadar Revolution. Republican Saudi Arabia. Salute, salute, salute.